City Innovations is a venture studio located in Grand Rapids, Michigan. A venture studio is a place that systematically creates new ventures and startups every year. City Innovations is unique in the fact that we focus on traction first. And what that means oftentimes is that speed to first paying customer. So we use things like sell first, build later, in order to understand what the market actually wants and needs. And so through that approach, we actually can build startups and understand what startups the market actually needs and wants versus startups that we just think is a good idea. Our Hollywood model is also a differentiator in which we actually bring outside experts. We partner with corporations to do a lot of spin-outs and rollouts outside of larger organizations. And that's just one area we partner with in which we position them as the subject matter expert in their industry. They're the ones that have been in the industry for 20, 30, 40 plus years. And so leaning on that knowledge and understanding is key to understanding the market. Furthermore, if we have any expertise needed inside of City Innovations to bring a new venture to market, we can then tap into expertise across our industry. And so if we need someone that specializes in data science, specifically in healthcare, we're going to bring that person in. And that's what makes it more of a Hollywood model. Is when you're building a Hollywood studio and set, if you're building a horror film or you're building a specific film, you want to bring in those writers, those filmmakers that are very specific to that industry and to the film you're making. The other thing that City focuses on is problem-first innovation. Far too often, we see companies really starting with a solution-first approach where it brings in mind of saying, hey, we need to build something with AI. And rather than starting with AI, we like to start with what problem does your market need and is worth solving? And then we follow up with what solutions and what tools can we use to solve that. So problem-first innovation really brings it back to the basics of saying what problems are worth solving and where are the aspirant problems. The history of City Innovations goes all the way back to Silicon Valley. So out in Silicon Valley, we spent time, 3 years, and I co-founded a company out there that was seed funded, and we built out a team to actually try and take 3 years to build a startup and bring it to market. And through that, I made every mistake. And so really, once I was done building that startup, one of our investors came in and kind of tapped us on the shoulder and said, hey, can you help build this other startup I have in my portfolio? And it just so happened that startup was right here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And so that's really what brought me back to Grand Rapids, is family, building another startup here. And so out of that process, we then became City Software Group. And interestingly enough, we spent a little bit of our history just building software. But after doing that for several years, what we recognized after talking to our customers is we asked them, what makes City Innovations different than everyone else? And what they said was, you don't just build software, you ask the question, are we building the right software? Are we building the right thing for the market? And so really that was the genesis of understanding we're not actually a software development company, we're a venture studio that is really hyper-focused on traction first and what we build and bring to market. Over these last 12 months, City has been focused on developing ventures that accelerate the growth of other startups and ventures. And so we're focused on how can we build a venture that acts as a multiplier to what's currently been done in the marketplace. City Innovations hasn't really changed. We still have that core same DNA we've always had. And we're excited that we're going through this new evolution of bringing you the fastest traction, the quickest part to getting customers through the door. And so if you're interested in getting that traction yourself, speed to first paying customer, reach out to us. We'd love to have a conversation.